welcome back to another episode of the Random Banter podcast. This is episode 88, and we're starting off today with a little bit of a blurry camera. And I have a special guest on today. You might know him from being on the Dungeons and Dragons 20 Sided Tavern. We've got Mr. R. Alex Murray on the episode today. How you doing, sir? How you doing?
What up? I'm great, man. We're off the road for just a second. We were
Yeah.
saying before we started recording, so I'm at home, watering plants and cleaning before
Oh
I
yeah.
get off into
Of
the world
course.
again.
Yeah, yeah. So, just kind of starting off the episode today. What can you just briefly talk about, like what your background is that kind of led you to the point where you are today?
My background?
Yeah,
I I tell people I'm just an entertainer. I used to say actor, I used to say musician, and now
yeah.
at this point it's like I just like sort of to be in front of a room full of people trying to bring rooms together, you know?
Hmm.
But I mean, the background is like I'm a theater kid. Like I'm a church theater kid and then a school theater kid
Yeah,
and then a high school theater kid and like we just got more and more obnoxious.
yeah.
Um and then a college theater. Then I got a degree in being a theater kid.
Oh, I get it.
Uh
Of course.
which is that what you're currently up to?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
Well,
currently studying it at WVU.
hell
Senior
yeah.
senior year. It's going. Oh boy.
Yeah, I went to a little liberal arts college called Swanee in Tennessee, and my
Okay.
weird claim to fame is that um, Tennessee Williams left his entire estate to our college.
Oh,
And yeah, so anytime a Tennessee Williams play is produced anywhere, you'll see, but produced by permission from Swanee University.
oh, that's
And
awesome.
well, yeah, because of that, we've got all this money, and
Yeah.
and a teeny tiny little like program, right? Like
Hmm.
I think there were 3 theater majors my year. We were very small, but like
Hmm.
a big class was like 10.
Yeah.
And we produced like 6 or 7 plays a year. There was just always something going on.
Sweet.
So in college, I've forgotten about plays that I was in. Like I'll be hanging
Hmm.
out talking to my buddies and they'll be like, "Oh, remember that thing we did for 4 days?" And we all just put it. I was like, "Oh God, yeah, I forgot."
Yeah, yeah,
So it just plays and plays and plays and plays. And
yeah.
then I moved to Nashville for a little while
Hmm.
and did theater there and was in bands and was trying to be a rock star and write songs about drinking tequila.
Nice.
And that didn't work out, thank God. And I got the hell out of that city before it sort of imploded on itself.
Yeah.
And I moved to New York, man, and I've been here for 13 years.
Nice.
I was doing stand-up comedy really hard for a while. I was doing improv. I was a children's entertainer for like 6 minutes, really, 6 years, really hard.
Hmm.
Where I like did kids' birthday parties and sing-alongs and nonsense, and I've got plenty of weird stories from those experiences. And then
Yeah.
I about 2015 I got real back into D&D in like a big way
Yeah.
with sort of the rest of the world. It was
Yeah.
something I did as a kid. I played as a kid and a lot of Magic the Gathering and just comic books and
Oh,
shit.
same here.
Yep. Well, listen, buddy. I grew up in Rome, Georgia, in the '90s, in the 1900s, where like the only place to buy anything was at Walden Books, and you couldn't
Hmm.
get Dungeons and Dragons book there because they were the devil.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like legitimately, I had my Sunday school teacher was like, Stephen King is possessed by Satan, and if you're
Cool.
into any of this stuff, I know, right? That was
Awesome.
I was like,
Great.
cool. Well, I'm a big fan, so I guess me and Satan were down.
Like this.
Yeah, we're cool, but like there wasn't. You could buy
Yeah.
magic cards at the Walmart, but that was about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then mid pandemic, I did some streams and some podcasts and all this, and
Right.
about mid pandemic, I answered an ad for like on Actors Access of all places for like what would D&D show be workshop. And that ended up being the last 5 years of my life. With
Nice.
the 20 Sided Tavern, yeah.
That's pretty cool. So just out of curiosity, like whenever your career was like starting out, what were some of the biggest like challenges you were able to overcome?
Overwatch. I don't know if I overcame any of them, bro.
Well, some that you
I hate to,
faced.
I hate to, as you just so about to start out, like, I was in Nashville, Tennessee, for, like I said, for 5 years, right out of college. I moved to
Right.
Nashville. Um, And can I swear on this podcast?
Yeah, sure,
I
I don't
fucked
care.
up a lot, baby. I screwed up so many times. I infamous for a while for showing up pretty stoned to gigs.
Okay.
And don't do that. Don't that's It's wildly unprofessional and people around you will notice.
Yeah.
And they will and I had somebody actually pull me aside. They were like, "Hey, look, you're going to stop getting cast and stuff because you're
Mhm.
very funny and you're very good and you're on time and you're ready to go. Like in rehearsals on it." And I just hadn't done runs of shows where I got bored
Right.
before, right?
Right.
College, you never do. How many shows have you done? What's the most like the longest run of a play you've ever done?
Probably the longest run of one is like 2 months or so, something like
Okay,
that.
that's
Like
pretty good
that's like
still.
rehearsal. That's like rehearsal process to
No, 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 no.
oh,
How many performances of a show?
my bad. Sorry. Probably a 10-day run.
Yeah, yeah. We're talking about 2 months of doing dinner theater,
Awesome.
like 45 minutes outside of Nashville, Tennessee. I can
Awesome.
say the name of it. The Chaffin's Barn Dinner Theater doesn't exist anymore.
Oh,
And
cool.
big shout out to everybody out there who gave me a chance and who yelled
Yeah.
at me. But for it, yeah, I had some people go like, "Listen, I understand that you've done this play. That is bad. That is a bad 3-act door slamming farce that was written. There's a guy named Jack Sharkey that writes plays for dinner theater, and they suck. There's like, if you ever want to read, I was in a show called Sorry Wrong Chimney, about a cat burglar who is dressing as Santa and stealing things from people, and it
That's
turns out
awesome.
it it's not.
Okay,
It's like
cool.
the premise is very funny, but like
Yeah.
we had to essentially rewrite it. And man, I had a big joke that was for a while. I was like, "Oh, they just put me in a silly costume and kicked me on stage."
Mhm.
And I would be Santa Claus, and it turns out the cat burglar thinks he's Santa Claus.
Uh-huh.
It's not a vibe. And then they keep hitting him in the head, and he like goes back and forth to think he's Santa Claus and not. I don't know. There's 3 acts traditionally in dinner theater, and
Mhm.
usually in between acts 2 and 3, I just go get baked.
Nice.
Out behind. No, no, not nice. Very stupid,
Yes, of course.
unprofessional, unkind to my fellow
It was
actors.
it was a sarcastic nice.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's nice. Well, like, listen, you think you're cool, but like, I think that was my big thing was like staying focused during the long run of a not a great show,
Right.
is really hard because when you're doing something, all of a sudden you're in like 50, 60 performances of this thing, and you're like, it's so stupid, and I don't care, and
Yeah.
but like I gotta get this paycheck, and
Right.
I had some really good friends. We'll shout out Denise Hicks and Martha Wilkinson in the same podcast, and just be like, they like good big sisters to me, and essentially put me in a headlock, and we're like, "You're gonna stop getting work, dude. You got to quit fucking around. You're not a rock star. This is a $300 plus the buffet check a week. Like,
Yeah.
your people are gonna stop casting you and stuff." And I
Right.
really like, I did. I well the the final sort of straw that broke that camel's back was I was in a production of, Hedwig and the Angry Inch.
I don't know.
It's a rock opera and it's really good. And I was playing bass and I was so loaded on stage that I really forgot where I was. I was looking
Ah.
around, and Hedwig, who is a drag queen with huge hair,
Mhm.
just sort of tapped me on the shoulder in the middle. I was just looking around, thinking about how weird theater is. And she tapped me on the shoulder, and I turned around. There's just this drag queen right here, and I was like, "Oh Jesus, hey, what up?" And she was like, "Are you gonna start the song?" And I was like, "What song, buddy? I don't know where we are." And yeah, and I mean that was it. I got blackballed from that theater,
Mhm.
and then like I sort of went, "Okay, maybe I should
Yeah.
stop."
Oh yeah. Yeah.
uh,
Little come to Jesus moment.
yeah, yeah, it's really good. And so now we get high when the day is done.
Yeah.
And we've earned it. But
Mhm.
yeah, man, I'd say that was my big coming right out of college. I
Yeah.
had been in so many shows and had been doing
Mhm.
so much, and then you was like rock star attitudes. I also lived
Right.
like this when I was like 18.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah, yeah, but it turns out when you graduate from college, there are other people to play 60-year-old men, 60
Right.
year old men.
Yeah, yeah, people who are actually 60. Yeah.
Yeah, I had to put a lot of yeah, exactly. They're
Yeah.
60-year-old turns out. And I was like, "Oh God, what do I do for the next like 18 years? What do I
Yeah.
do till I turn 40? How do I
Yeah.
grow into this look?" And the answer was be an idiot for a while, but we figured it out. And so yeah, I guess if I have any advice to people starting out their careers, it's get, lock in
Oh yeah.
at the beginning. Like you're making first and second and third and fourth and fifth impressions. Like those
Mhm.
don't stop.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just out of curiosity, like kind of I'm garnering into a little bit of like D&D stuff now.
Sure.
Because that's where I found you was seeing things like on with the 20 Sided Tavern.
Yeah.
Would you just briefly kind of explain what it is for anyone who's listening,
The
i.e.
20
my
sided
my
tavern.
grandparents that might not know what it
Oh
is?
yeah, what's up? What's up, Grandma, Grandpa?
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragons is not the devil. It's
No.
cool. It is casting spells and rolling bones, so
Mm.
there is a ritual magical element to it
Yes.
for sure. You are holding sacred like destiny rocks and
Yeah.
like pushing your will into them and going like, please let me kill this goblin and then throwing them. So it's
Hmm.
not. I mean, you're not wrong, satanic panickers, but you're just lame. Um, yeah, you're just boring.
Fair.
You think your rituals are better than ours, and I went to church over Christmas, and you're wrong. Your guys are lame. They're boring and grape juice. Presbyterians, come on, drink at least a little pop of Sacramento wine, cowards.
Well,
Well,
I,
indeed. They don't even
I,
have. They used to have homemade bread, man. Now the bread was even ass. I was bummed.
oh, well,
Um, yeah. What are you gonna do? I mean, the
I,
snacks at D&D sessions are usually top notch.
I've
Like,
heard they're like, especially the bigger ones, like the snacks are on point.
oh yeah, absolutely. But how
Yeah.
cool would it be if you went to church and they were like, "Welcome, rip this bowl and here's some Cheetos puffs. We're gonna talk about God." Yeah,
Sold.
yeah, exactly. That's how you throw a party.
Mhm.
Um, God, what is Dungeons and Dragons? I'm not gonna do that. But what is
Yeah.
TST? So our deal is that like we get Dungeons and Dragons up on its feet. My favorite thing that gets said over and over by nerds who come see the show is they're like, "Oh, I understand sports now."
Mhm.
Because it is jumping up, cheering, screaming. You see every D20 roll on
Yes.
camera, and like they're like baseball pitches, right? Like we
Right.
set up you get essentially a like count, right? Like
Mhm.
somebody's like, all right, here's the deal. We got two men on. We got two strikes, two balls, and here's the pitch. And it'll be that. It'll be like, all right, th- this guy's almost dead. If you don't kill him, he's gonna explode the world. And you need to roll at least a 15, but you have a -1 to this
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah.
So here's the pitch. Like, can you get it done? And when those things hit, the room just goes nuts.
Oh yeah.
Um, and it's interactive, so you're playing along and helping make decisions on your phone as
Mhm.
well. There's like an element where you play around along and goof around, and we're on our feet and like in the audience and running around and making stage pictures in a way that none of these other actual plays are. And I
Yeah.
think that's the cool thing about the way that we've discovered to play this game, because we're in this weird. Have you messed around? Have you actual played podcasts or any of this? Like, this wasn't a thing when I was
Mhm.
in college, when I was a kid. Like, there was nobody would ever been like, oh yeah, you can play Dungeons and Dragons at Madison Square Garden in front of
Yeah,
people.
yeah, I've never, I mean, I like I've played D&D for a while, and like I remember when I saw like people doing it in stadiums, I was like, that's such a good idea.
Yeah,
Like the crowd interaction that you get out of it,
yeah,
like it's
it's
just
crazy.
it's cool. It's such a cool idea.
It's very fun, and like our idea was to take it like, so it started right with actual play podcasts, and then them going like, all right, we'll just do what we do in rooms full
Yeah.
of people. And what we are doing is we've got essentially one sandbox. Well, sandbox is it's a module that's on rails, and
Mhm.
there's branching pathways. It's more like a choose your own adventure sort of
Right.
story. Um, but the audience is going to choose. We got 3 characters. We got 3 players and a dungeon master and like a tavern keeper is what we call the sort of second head of the dungeon master
Right.
on stage. That they're running effects and running elections and running all the stuff that goes to your phone,
Yeah.
as well as like playing NPCs, and it's very silly.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a very fun place to sit on stage because you get to just like hit lightning effects and talk shit to your friends.
That's awesome.
It's a blast. It's a blast.
That's awesome.
Um, and the 3 players don't know what character they're going to play until the show starts. The audience picks them,
That's
and
cool.
then we also switch. Everybody in the show plays like I play all 5. A lot of people have 4 of the different roles, and everybody has at least 2. So
Hmm.
like people move around and switch. So at the beginning of every show, it's like we just like it's like you shake it up and go like, all right, this is this version of this Dungeons and Dragons adventure.
Yeah.
I'm a very big fan of saying that we're the jam band of D&D actual play.
That's
Like we're
cool.
playing the same song over and over again. It's the same. We're playing the Tomb of Havoc over and over again, but like, we're gonna put some stank on it and make it
Yeah.
a little funky.
Yeah. There's like
Make it a
different,
little
there's
faster, a
a
little
little
slower.
different solos that are throughout
There
the.
are exactly,
Yeah.
and there are times where like we did one in Chicago where my boy Will walked on and was like, "Things haven't been the same since we came back from the war," and I was like, I was DMing, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me, bro?" And I just started furiously writing down on my sheet. I was like, "Okay, horrors of war, real big," and I underlined
Awesome.
it 3 times.
Cool.
And by the end of the show, it was like nobody stood up or barely clapped when we said the like last lines, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I looked out at everybody, and I was just going, "Oh my god, Jesus Christ!" Like it was brutal, and
Yeah.
it was funny and good, and we had a good time. But like,
Nice.
but by the end of the show, all 3 players, like one player had sacrificed his soul for his friends, the other one had dragged the BBEG to hell,
Oh
and
my
the third
God.
one, who it had been, and I even know this was going to happen. I had like earlier in the show, as a like evil influence, gotten in her mind and been like, "You're going to be left alone. You're going to be. Everyone's going to leave you, and you'll be left alone to mourn nothing." And
Jeez.
there at the end of the show, she's sitting there by herself on a pile of her dead friends, and we were
Oh
like,
my God.
"Oh shit!" And it's just like it works out that way
Yeah.
sometimes, and then other days it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like a perfect ending, and it's a wild show. We got 2 weeks left. Come to Dallas and see us.
Hey, I
And
mean, if I get the money, I'll be there.
yeah, for sure. Well, and then I imagine there's all sorts of different versions of like this version of playing the thing
Yeah. Oh
being
yeah.
made,
Yeah.
and some of us are probably gonna splinter and reform
Oh, I'm
and do
sure.
things because it's like this is this new version of it, right? Even
Right.
like the big shit actual players, the people, the like names and stuff that have come and done it with us
Yeah.
are like, this is so different than
Hmm.
like it just is. It's different
Yeah.
than 4 people sitting at a table and like, Griffin McElroy running his brothers through an adventure,
Of course.
or
Yeah.
or Matt Mercer or whoever, just running their friends through a unique adventure.
Yeah.
Abria, running the cast of Baldur's Gate 3 through just an actual just a one shot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Because you got this live atmosphere, all these people like putting in their input onto this game, and just like it being different every time for like every person. That's just, I mean, that
yeah,
that's something that you don't really get anywhere else,
no,
except for
it's
maybe like an improv show, something like that.
I mean it is an improv show, right? Like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
it's an improv form, and like just like again, just like uh China Cat Sunflower was an improv form, and Bob Weir
Mhm.
and Jerry Garcia played different things on it every time.
Right.
That, nerds, was a Grateful Dead reference. R.I.P. Bob Weir. And yeah, um, long week. I've been
Oh yeah.
listening to a lot of Grateful Dead. I don't know
I
if
can
you're on a
imagine.
college campus. I'm sure there's a fair
Oh
amount
yeah, yeah. One of my
of people.
professors is a big Grateful Dead fan, and
Oh,
he was not there that
yeah,
day.
yeah. Just
Yeah, I
like,
was like,
not
I don't
forget.
blame
Sorry,
you.
guys. I gotta
Yeah,
go look at a tree.
yeah. I
Um,
gotta go stand outside in the
yeah,
cold.
yeah.
And
I gotta
just
go. Oh yeah,
think of colors.
yeah. I drove through. I drove from New York to Georgia and back over the holidays, so
Mhm.
through right by you a couple times.
Oh yeah,
Um,
yeah.
uh, man, yeah, but Yeah, yeah, we're playing different stuff. We're playing
Yeah.
different notes, and it's very much like the people who come to see the show over and over and over again are like,
Mhm.
"What are they gonna do with the wizard this time?"
Yeah.
Or like, "What's the wizard gonna get named?" Or there's like a looted item moment that we get from the audience, and that can go batshit. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
And also it helps with the like you guys have like rotating cast members like in and out, right? Or
there are
am I
9 core members, and there
okay,
have
yeah.
been since the off Broadway run, and then into
Okay.
the tour, and then we have had, oh boy, Travis, Abria, Erica, Jack, Iffy, Becca, Darren, Sam, Dev, Neil. Oh God, am I leaving anybody out? I've got that's at
I
least 10. Oh shit, Felicia, and yeah, so like 11 or 12 like actual guests.
yeah,
And then when we were in LA, we had people step on just as an NPC in the third act, and that
that's
was like
cool.
another 20.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean getting those like other people to come in, just like with different like backgrounds, but all different kinds of people who like enjoy playing D&D. Like I had Jack on an episode of the podcast back a year or so ago.
Zwipper?
Yeah, yeah, that guy.
My man.
Yeah,
He's gonna be in Dallas with us. I can't wait
oh
to see
yeah,
him.
awesome guy. And I when I saw that he was like doing the 20 sided tavern stuff, I was like, that makes so much
Oh
sense.
yeah.
Like,
Well, the Ren Fair vibes are big,
oh,
right? Like,
absolutely.
and very much like when he's on stage and I'm on stage together, we are it gets real broy and sack tappy. Um
Okay,
uh
yes.
in like not a bad way, in a
Mhm.
very fun, very silly way.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I we love going at each other, and it's also very, that man can handle a rowdy audience like nobody I've seen. And like again,
Yeah.
I came up doing I was doing stand up hard for
Mhm.
like 6 years, and then the pandemic sort of ruined it. And I
Mhm.
started working on this, and I
Mhm.
just didn't go back. I like have not
Right.
gone back to sort of like, working on another tight 5 and then 10 and then etc.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But for a while I was like really in it,
Oh
and
yeah.
the like energy of working with a room is very similar in that way.
Mhm.
Also doing 3-year-olds birthday parties is very similar in that way of
I
like,
can imagine.
I've got to control this unruly
Mhm.
room that does not want to be controlled, and also I want them to go full out,
Mhm.
but also not stop the show. And so
Yes.
it's like, you want people to scream and yell and do stuff, but you also don't want them to lose their minds. We had somebody at a
Yeah.
we had somebody at a show once. Just we have a mechanic where people become like a player's patron, uh, and they can like call out to them for
Oh,
like
that's
a
cool.
blessing on a roll. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
the first
Yeah.
big D20 roll of the show.
Awesome.
We get
Yeah.
somebody up on stage and they roll, and then they go back, and it just didn't occur to us one night. We were like, all right, come up, give us a blessing. And that person just was like, okay, and ran up right back up onto the stage. And we were all like, oh no, you're not supposed to be up here now. This is not, you got it. And it's that level of like, we've had to, there are 2, you know, stairways on
Right.
staircases on the stage, and like people see us bringing people up and down, so they're just like, okay,
Like,
let
why
me get
not?
up there, and we
Yeah.
have to go like, no, 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 no.
Yeah.
Like, you
That like
can't.
that crowd control aspect.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
yeah, absolutely.
I can imagine that's difficult in some different scenarios.
I mean, some days it's good and some days it's bad. We've had
Yeah.
people run into, like, I've had fellow cast members that are like, I did not like those people in Boston because they were loud and rude. And I was like, I did like those people in Boston because I got to be louder and ruder than them.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And
different tastes for all different kinds of people.
yeah,
And I bet like and again, I bet that comes from doing such a interactive show like all over.
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, the different flavors of America that we have
Oh,
gotten are very funny.
I can
It
only
turns
imagine.
out, people from Minnesota are different than people from Los Angeles, are different than people from North Carolina, are
Yeah.
different than people from Boston.
Oh yeah.
Like, and we're the cast of the shows from all over the place, so it's
Yeah.
very funny to have us show up and be like, "Yeah, what's up, dickheads? I remember you. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
from here, and
Yeah.
I'm not scared of you."
It's like I'm one of you and I'm up
Yeah,
here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not trapped in here with you.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
trapped in here with me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm mic'd up and I know all of your weaknesses.
I know what makes you tick, audience member.
Yeah, Greensboro, North Carolina.
Oh
Yeah,
God,
we had
yes.
we had those statues in my town growing up too. I know what you've done.
Yeah, yeah. So kind of getting into like the little latter half of the episode here, I wanted to briefly just like chat about something. Granted, this happened back in October, so I bet it's probably like mellowed out a little bit. At
Sure.
least that was when you posted the reel. I'm not really sure when it happened, but I just wanted to talk about your double crit at disadvantage.
I mean, that was Jack. That was the room with Jack that I was talking about. Like
Yeah.
that was it's really funny. This is now currently I think the most visible thing I've ever done on the
Mhm.
internet.
It was insane. I mean, it came on my feed and I was like, "Oh my God, this is it
It
like
was
the chance of that happening is
it
like
was
nothing."
buck wild.
Yeah.
Well, it's 1 in 400.
Yeah.
But I also called it. So
Yeah.
we're in Boston, and that show was the day after the Yankees had knocked the Red Sox out of the playoffs.
Oh, so it's
And
solemn.
and only in Boston, Massachusetts, is people who give a shit about Major League Baseball and Dungeons and Dragons is that Venn diagram a fucking circle.
A circle.
Like
Yes.
it's the only place in the world where we looked out and there'd be like we were people in Red Sox hats with elf ears on. And I was like, that is awesome. And
That
those are
is
my people.
that's phenomenal.
I'm a jock nerd. I love sports. I was a varsity athlete in high school, and then got into the nerd stuff. I was always into it. I would
Mhm.
be reading The Hobbit on the football bus.
Oh yeah.
People would make fun of me, and I would headbutt them.
Fair enough.
And so we're in Boston, and Jack sets me up from the very beginning of the day.
Mm.
He's of the show sets me up as an asshole from New York. I am not. I just live here now.
Yeah.
But so I can do it, and I just played right into it. And I was like, "All right, you got it, guys. I'm a dick. I am the enemy."
Uh-huh.
And so they were chirping, and I was chirping, and we had the very fun day and a really good show.
Mm.
And that was supposed to be the moment that I lost. That was supposed to be the moment Jasmine sets up. And I apologize to any listeners now who aren't D&D people because this next bit's crunchy ass D&D talk.
Okay.
This
Yes.
is the bottom of the ninth 4 men on part.
Yeah.
Is that she set me up? I had to pass a Constitution check. She was gonna moonbeam me. We build the big bad evil guy at the end of every show, right? We
Yeah.
make him up. We using audience suggested
Of course.
and adjectives. And what in that video, what you don't see, is that I'm playing the entire New York Yankees,
Mhm.
all of them. The bad guy is the New York Yankees from the first Yankee to now. It's every Yankee, the platonic ideal of the New York Yankees.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, this is where they win. This is where they get to like finish off the Yankees.
Yeah.
And everybody's going nuts. And she sets up I have to pass a DC 23
Whew.
check that she has set up
Of course.
using Cosmic Omen effectively. And I've got a -1 to con, which happened. This is the nerds on the. Thank you for giving me a platform to defend myself from every dweeb on the internet.
Oh yes.
So many people going like, nat 20s don't count on saving throws. Shut up. You're boring. And you shouldn't be playing D&D.
It was cool. Stop it.
Well, you also just like you don't get if like I looked at it, went, okay, my tavern keeper and I simultaneously went, the only way I can do, he said, the only way you can do this is if you roll 2 20s. And I went, it's cool. I'm going to roll 2 20s. And we said 2 20s at the same time. And then I shrugged my shoulders and rolled 2 20s. And it was like if Babe Ruth, instead of like pointing dramatically, had just been like, here comes a grand slam, dickheads. Pow! And then just like knocked it out. And the room went berserk.
I can
I
imagine.
mean, 1,400 lunatics on their feet, screaming, yelling, dying, throwing up. I threw my hat across the stage. I crotch chopped the entire audience, wearing sparkly gloves 3 times. I kind of blacked out for a minute. It was just one of those moments where like, yeah, every nerd will remember where they were.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I threw those 2 20s.
Yeah.
And it was like Diego was on stage and just went walking off into the audience. Jack put his head in his hands. Jasmine, who had essentially like it was a 99, well, I don't know how to do 99.999 to make it 1 in 400, but
I
like,
don't know.
like there's some decimal point chance that I
Yeah.
was going to succeed. And you know, 1 in 4.0. No, because it goes right from 100 to 1,000. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I
I'm
mean,
not good at math.
I don't
But
know.
yeah, dude. It was a nutty time, and it was one
Yeah.
of those things where, like, again, everybody just went crazy. They just
Yeah.
went crazy
Yeah.
in the room. It was very much like sports.
Yeah.
I won a state championship in football in high school,
Mhm.
and like after that, people stormed the like when the clock ran out and we had won. People stormed the field like at the end of a movie,
Mhm.
and this was the closest moment I think to that I've
To
had.
that. Yeah. Yeah. I
Of
mean,
just
yeah.
like everybody was like, "Oh, I can't believe it!" And then what's hilarious is the next turn somebody killed me. The next turn
Oh, yeah.
somebody like finished me off, and it was fine, and we went on, and like we moved on. But it was just like one of those things. It was just it was just nuts. Everybody, plenty of people on the internet also just going fake, not real, and like
Oh, God, of
again,
course.
yeah, live a life with like whimsy and joy in it.
Yeah.
Believe
Yeah.
in magic.
Fun things happen every once in a while.
Exactly. Yeah,
Like,
believe
yeah.
in magic, man. Like live a
Yeah.
life that's like where you believe that
Yeah.
like good things can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. It was. I mean, it was buck wild.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
And
I can imagine.
like a weird thing also then to have sort of that explode my internet presence
Oh, yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
I'll take it. Everybody most of the cast have had at least one or two sort of viral moments
Mhm.
over the course of the last year and a half, and I'm glad that was mine.
Yeah.
Like Will Champion got kissed by Neil Newbon and started getting real weird DMs, and we've had a couple of those too, where like they've been like sort of sexier, and no, I don't need that smoke. I don't
That's
need that
fair.
heat.
That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, no, I mean, I get that. Yeah. Yeah, so winding into the little last bit that we've got here. Where can people find your stuff? Where can they follow you? You want to like shout out any of your socials?
If you would like to see me roll two nat 20s, you can go to at @RAlexMurray on TikTok and Instagram. I am not a content creator. I put shit on those things when I feel like it. Reels a little more often because I be sharing shit and like.
Yeah.
Um, I'm also in New York. Like, if you're in New York, we're about to be back, and like those of us who are going to be in New York sort of permanently are going to be up to stuff. So if you're up here, please like follow along. There's going to be more like D&D actual play content. I'm about to mount a Beowulf musical where I tell the story of Beowulf and sing songs about it.
Oh, absolutely. That's cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be a good time. So that's gonna be immediately mounted. Sort of working on that is the next thing when I come back. But
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah, and then I don't know. Yeah, that seems reasonable.
Sweet.
Hang out
Yeah.
with me on the internet.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to do this. It's been a pretty good episode. I'd love to keep yapping more, but I just got the notification that the free Zoom will end in like 5 minutes. So
Oh no
yeah,
no!
I didn't want it to cut out in the middle of it, but yeah. So thank you so much for doing this.
Absolutely, it's my
Um,
pleasure, man. Thanks so much.
before we sign off, is there anything that you'd like to send off with?
Uh, don't get high before you go on stage.
Fantastic. But yeah, thank you everyone for listening and watching to this episode. This has been episode 88 of the Random Banter podcast. I'm your host, Ethan. We had our Alex Murray on from the 20 Sided Tavern, and we yapped a lot about D&D. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.